Hello Explorers, I'm Kat and I hope you've had a really good week. Now I loved watching last week's video and seeing Angela and Harry and Charlotte dancing and praising God. I wonder if this week you had some time to listen to some of your favourite worship songs, your favourite songs that celebrate God and thank Him with a little bit of dancing and a bit of a praise party at your house. We're going to be carrying on thinking about that theme of gratitude this week. And I wonder if any of you have managed to learn our memory verse for November yet. I know some of you have because some of you have already got your names into our prize bag. Shirley is going to share that verse with us now to see if you can remember it still.
Okay, time for the memory verse. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 136, verse 1. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 136, verse 1. Turn some over. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 136, verse 1. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 136, verse 1. See you later, kids. Bye.
Thank you so much, Shirley, for that video, for helping us to learn our memory verse this month. Now, if you have managed to learn that memory verse off by heart, then send us in a video and you could get your name into our November prize bag. And if I pull your name out at the end of the month, then you could win this Lego Minecraft set. So get learning that verse if you've not mastered it already. We are going to have another challenge for you, which means another opportunity to get your name into the prize bag for this month. But we're going to look at that after our video.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Luke, chapter 17, verses 11 through 19.
Outside the village on the border between Samaria and Galilee lived 10 lepers. We didn't know their name or their stories, but we did know at least one of them was a Samaritan, a group that Jewish people distrusted. Call that man Zach.
Hi there. Sorry, not allowed to shake your hand.
Leprosy was a painful skin disease, and there was no doctors or medicines to treat it. But even worse than the sores were the loneliness. Lepers weren't allowed to be around anyone who were healthy, not even their own families. They had to keep more than a social distance. So if Zach had a wife or kids, probably hadn't seen them in years.
My little boys. All grown up by now, I bet.
The 10 lepers' life seemed hopeless. All they can do was stand back and yell at anybody who passed by.
Stay away!
Don't come close.
But we do need food. If you could just leave some under that willow tree by the creek, we'd be grateful.
Then, one day, news reached the lepers of travelers approaching along the border road.
Big crowd.
I hear it's that Jesus fella.
The teacher? They say he makes sick people well.
You're a Samaritan. Why would he care about you?
Hey, what have I got to lose?
Zach hobbled toward the road, walking stick in hand. The other lepers straggled after him. They could see a crowd now, traveling along the road.
People won't like us standing so close.
I'm not throwing away my shot.
Zach can see faces now. The crowd grouped around the man in the middle. The man had a strong face and kind eyes.
Jesus! Master! Have pity on us!
To the leper's surprise, Jesus stopped right in the middle of the road.
Jesus!
Master Jesus!
Over
Have
here! Pity on
please!
us!
Please have pity on us.
The crowd around Jesus backed away, whispering. Jesus stood firm as Zach and the lepers dared to limp closer.
Jesus!
Master!
Have pity on us!
As the lepers neared, Jesus took a long, clear look. Everyone went silent. Zach could hardly breathe. Then Jesus smiled.
Go. Show yourselves to the priests.
Zach gasped. The only way a leper could approach a priest was if that he confirmed that he had been healed. But as Zach glanced down, his heart sank. His knees and his feet were still shriveled and splotchy. His knees still ached.
Oh.
Jesus moved on, and the crowd followed. The lepers stared at each other.
Well, that happened.
I don't get it.
Well, we should go to the priests, like he told us.
I guess it can't hurt.
Any more than it already does.
Limping, the lepers headed out across the field towards the town. They hesitated as they reached the creek.
We'll have to wade across.
Painfully, the man clambered down the bank. Zach's stick got caught in the twisted root of a willow tree. The stick went flying, and he tumbled to the ground.
Ouch!
Instinctively, he jumped to his feet.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
Just jump up.
Zach glanced down again. This time, his feet and his legs were strong and whole, skin clear and healthy.
Look! My skin! It's clean!
The other man glanced down at their own arms and legs and bodies.
I'm all better! Woohoo!
The lepers laughed and danced till they cried, amazed at what Jesus had done.
You gotta get to the priest!
Race you!
The lepers splashed across the creek, hurtling towards the town. Zach stopped at the water's edge, and the others ran ahead.
I'll get to see my boys again.
But even as Zach imagined the joy that would come, a face flashed in his head.
Jesus. He's healed me. He's the one who's made me whole.
Turning back, Zach hurried toward the road. He ran fast, catching up to Jesus and the crowd as they reached the village.
Jesus? Jesus!
The crowd parted quickly as Zach headed straight for Jesus.
Praise God, I'm well.
Zach threw himself down on the dusty road at Jesus' feet.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Zach lifted his head. Dust mixed with tears of joy. Jesus smiled, but his eyes searched the road behind him.
Weren't all 10 healed? Where are the other 9?
As Zach shook his head, Jesus turned to the crowd.
Didn't anyone else return to give praise to God except this outsider?
Everyone was silent. It was clear that Zach was the only one. Jesus smiled down at him.
Get up and go. Your faith has healed you.
Zach leapt to his feet as he hurried to see the priest. He had delayed his chance to see his family by a short time, but it was worth it to see the man who had given him back his life.
So, there were 10 guys healed by Jesus. All of them were probably really grateful, but only one of them took the time to actually say it out loud. I think sometimes we're kind of like the 9 guys who didn't say anything. It's not that we're not grateful that Mom made dinner and washed the dishes. We are grateful. We just assume Mom knows that we're grateful. So we forget to say, thank you. And we're definitely grateful when a teacher takes extra time to help us with schoolwork. We just, don't feel comfortable telling her, thank you. And anytime we take a moment to think about all the things God has done for us, our hearts are probably overflowing with gratitude. But we don't actually tell him, thank you. You probably feel grateful all the time. to parents, to teachers, to friends, to God, to the guy who bags your groceries. All you need to do is remind yourself to take 2 seconds to say the words, "Thank you." That's the one thing to remember today. Say thank you!
Thank you is so important, isn't it? Jesus really appreciated that one man had remembered to go back and actually say thank you for what Jesus had done for him. We're going to have a look at doing a bit of a craft now. We are going to be making some thank you flowers like this. And we're going to use these to either praise and thank God for the things he's done for us, or you could turn your thank you flower into a card and you could give it to somebody that you want to say thank you to. So you will need to do this craft. You're going to need a piece of coloured card, or you could have white if you want to do, but you want something a little bit thicker. That's going to be the background. You're going to want a piece of card, maybe like a cereal box or something kind of, this is kind of a bit thin, it's easy to cut out, and I'm going to use this to make a template for our petal shapes for our flower. You're going to need some different coloured paper, whatever your favourite colours are. If you've got scrap paper, that's really good for this because we're not going to need to use a whole sheet, just little pieces. You're going to want a pen, a split pin or a paper fastener. Can you see it's got like a little split? Oh, there we go, like that. And you're going to need a pair of scissors. And the first thing you need to do is you're going to need to draw onto your template card a petal shape. You could, if you've got a computer and a printer, you could print one out if you're not sure you can draw it, or you can ask a grown-up to help you to do this. And you want to make sure it's going to fit onto your card. So you don't want to do it too big because a petal's only going to take up about half the space of your big background card. Once you've drawn your petal shape, you're going to need to cut that out. Using your new petal shape as a template, you can then draw around it on your coloured pieces of card and do as many petals as you like. Check you've got enough petals to fill the space on your card. Now, I think this looks pretty good, but I want a few more, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to cut around my template again to make another set of petals. Once you've cut out all your petals, decide which ones you want to use and think really carefully about who you're going to make your flower for. Now, if you want to do it for a person, maybe think of somebody that you've got lots of things to thank them for. It might be a parent, it might be a family member who's done loads of things for you. It might be a friend who's been there for you in lots of different times and you've got loads of things you'd like to thank them for. Maybe it's a teacher at school and they've helped you in so many different ways that you can think of lots of things you'd like to say thank you to them for. I'm going to do mine for God. Because I'm going to use mine this week to help me to pray and to remember to thank God. So I'm going to think of all the different things I want to thank God for, and I'm going to write each one onto one of my petals. Once you've finished writing on all of your different petals, you're going to need to make a hole in them. Now you can do this with your split pin. You might want a grown-up to help you. Or you can use a hole punch. I'm going to use a hole punch to do mine. You're also going to need to make a hole in the middle of your big paper. Now, my hole punch can't reach the middle of my big paper, so I'm going to need to use something a little bit spiky. So ask a grown-up to help you with this. You could either use the tip of your split pin, or you might want to use a pen and put a piece of blue tack behind it to stab it. But ask a grown-up to do this part for you. Once you've got your hole in the middle of your paper, then you can arrange your petals. So you can stack them all up so that the holes all line up in one place. You might want to think about what order you want the colours to go in for this. When you've got all the holes lined up, then poke your split pin through and then poke it into your hole in the middle of your piece of paper so that it comes out the back. You're then going to fold the spiky parts of the pin. There we go, so it holds it in place. And now you can arrange your petal. And there you have it, your very own thank you flower. Now you could use this, maybe this week, if you've made it for God, you could use it to help you pray. So perhaps at dinner time you could get your flower out and have a look and pick one of the petals. You could swirl it round in some way, or pick your favourite colour. You could fold them all up and see which ones are left showing. And choose something that you want to thank God for. You could pray about it before you have your dinner. That's one idea this week, to remember to be able to say thank you to God. I hope that you've enjoyed making your flowers. I would love to see some pictures of them. So if you do have a go at this craft, send us your pictures and we'll pop your name into the November prize bag where you could be winning the Lego Minecraft set. I hope you've had a brilliant week and I'll see you in our next video. Bye!
Every time I'm feeling down, you pick me up. Sing, oh, oh. And when my heart is feeling emptied out, you fill my cup. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Yeah! T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Here we go, verse 2. I'm grateful for the way you've been a friend to me. Sing, oh, oh. And even in the deepest, darkest night, you help me see. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Come on. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. For the joy that you give to me, for the way that you made me free, for my friends and my family, I just wanna say, for loving me from the start, for every beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you.